Hi, this is Jeanette from Happy Spots and Ink Spots, and today I'm going to show you how I created this card using a fun technique called stamp kissing. This is something that I saw on the Hero Arts blog about a month or so ago, and I really love the effect that it gave. You simply take two different stamps, stamp them up with different colors of ink, and then you press them together or kiss them together before stamping your image onto your cardstock. It's a really fun technique, it's really fast, and as you can see, the outcome is very, very beautiful. For this card, I used Hero Arts Cling Stamp in the Garden, and I used Stampin' Up's En Francais text stamp. One thing I want to point out when you're using text with this technique is that your text will be mirror image when you stamp it out. Now, I'm not too worried about that because it's not very evident unless you look very, very carefully. The ink I used for this sample was Memories Dye Ink Pad in Soft Leaf and Distress Ink Vintage Photo. Now, for the card I'm making today, I'm going to switch up a couple of elements. I'm going to switch up one of the inks, and I'm going to switch up the stamp here. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to use. I'm going to use a piece of Whisper White Stampin' Up paper. I'm going to be using the same Hero Arts stamp in the Garden, but I'm going to be switching up the other stamp for this envelope stamp by Hero Arts. I'm going to keep my Vintage Photo, but I'm going to change the colored ink to this one, which is Hero Arts Soft Pool ink. It's the same brand as Memories, so if you have the Memories, you can use that one, or any other dye ink. I'm going to be using my stamping press. I find it works really well with bigger stamps. And so what you're going to do is you're going to get both stamps out. Here, I'm going to zoom out for you a little bit there. It's better to see. You can get your two stamps out and you're going to ink them up. So I'm going to ink up the envelope stamp with Vintage Photo. And I'm going to ink up this one with the Soft Pool. Just want to make sure I have good coverage. Then you're going to take this stamp and you're just going to press it or kiss them together like that. Don't know if you can see, but now you've got this grid on here too. And then I'm just going to stamp it down on my paper. I really like using this Fiskar press for this because it's so much easier to manipulate and to make sure that you've got a really even stamp. And so that's what you get when you do that. You have the two stamps sort of stamped together on the one image. So I'm just going to clean my stamps off. I get a lot of questions about some of the little things that I do. I use baby wipes, non-alcohol baby wipes. I just find that's easier to get my stamps nice and clean with. Alright, so now we'll create the card. And I'm going to just trim this because it's a bit big. So I'm just going to trim this to a smaller size. Going to leave a little bit of white. I'm also going to make sure that it's nice and even. It's nicely centered. That, and maybe a little bit on the top too. Alright. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to distress the edges of this just a little bit to give it a more vintage feel. And I'm going to use this little tonic distresser. This is something I just recently bought myself, and I have to say I like using this a lot better than using scissors is what I used to do, and I like this a lot better. Alright, so then I'm going to want to make it a little more distressed. So I'll be taking my vintage photo and I'm just going to first sponge the edges like this. I find this gives a little bit more of a deeper sort of look to it. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just sponge it softly. Now I have a glass top on my workbench, so it works beautifully to get a really soft sponging. And then it just wipes right off. I find it even better than doing it on a piece of paper like that. I find it doesn't grip as much. Alright, so just go ahead and clean my table. Alright, so now you can see that that has a much more distressed sort of look and feel to it. So to create my card base, I have a piece of paper tray ink. Can't remember the name of it. It's sort of an aqua color. Maybe it's called Aqua Mist. So I have a piece of Aqua Mist, and I'm just going to cut it so it measures 5.5 across. Then I have a piece of Stampin' Up, very vanilla. I'm going to cut that at 5 1/4 as a square. And then for my pattern paper, I thought I would use a piece out of this Stella Rose Gertie paper. This piece here. I really like this aqua. So I'm going to pull that out. And I will cut that to measure 5. That in. Okay. Aside, I'm going to go ahead and score my card base at 5.5. And when I'm not doing a whole bunch of scoring, I like to just have this little score buddy on the desk with me. It takes up a lot less room. Okay, so I'm going to start putting the layers together. I'm going to get these two put together. A bit of tape. this on now. And I'm going to position it sort of more towards the top, like that, because I'm going to be putting this length of ribbon along the bottom, like that. And I'm going to attach it with the little tiny attacher staples. But before I do that, I am going to put a little bit of score pal tape just here, just so that my ribbon sort of stays straight. So when I attach it, it's going to look very nice. So where's my attacher? It's right here. I'm going to be leaving a little bit of ribbon on either end of the card. I think that's a kind of a fun look. And just try to make sure that you're stapling them about roughly equidistant from each edge. And I'm going to go ahead and trim a little bit of that off. That's a bit too much. So I'm going to leave about that on either side. So now I can put this onto my card base. I usually put this panel, this finished panel, onto my card base with some score pal tape, just because this panel has a lot of layers on it. It's a bit heavier, and I want to make sure it doesn't fall off. So that's going to get attached now. That. And then I pulled out a bunch of flowers. I wasn't sure which ones I was going to use. I pulled this one out, which is kind of nice, sparkly. This one. Pulled this one out as well, but I think it's a bit high. And then I have this yellow one. I think really I'm going to go with this one here. I think it's a right tone for the rest of my card. So I'm going to go ahead now and just glue that down. Like that. And then to dress it up a little bit more, I'm going to just attach some adhesive pearls just to the corners, the four corners of my card. And these are Martha Stewart. And that's it. It's all done. So this is a really, really fun technique. I hope you're going to give it a try. You can just combine so many different types of stamps. I had bought some other stamps that I'm going to be trying this out with. I bought this really cute one. This one is called, this one is called In the Garden, and I think the other one, I mistakenly referred to it as In the Garden. It must be called something else. Just a minute. I'm going to find the paper. It is called Dancing with Flower. So the one I originally used for this is called Dancing with Flower, and this is called In the Garden. So I'm going to be creating a card with the kissing technique with this as well. And I encourage you to give it a try. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed my video. Have a great day.